Hey again, Stephen Scott Rugby Show. All the best on behalf of the All Blacks.
Just a shout out to the Stephen Scott Rugby Show. Awesome. Cheers, brother.
G'day guys, just a shout out to the Stephen Scott Rugby Show. Awesome.
Cheers.
Hi, my name's Phil from Sydney. I'm the captain of the Black Ferns.
Stephen Scott Rugby Show. How's it going, mate?
Just a wee shout out to the Stephen Scott Rugby Show. You guys are awesome. Cheers.
Hey guys, Artie here. Shout out to Stephen Scott Rugby Show.
Hi, I'm Andrew Mertens, just working on building my CV and possibly get a gig on the Stephen Scott Rugby Show.
Welcome to the Steve and Scott Rugby Show as we review the first game of Bledisloe 1 that just took place in Sydney on Saturday, and what a match it was, Scott.
Yeah, definitely, Stephen. Like we said in our last show, we're going to bring a couple of treats to you this week. We actually got to go to the game in Sydney, and what a buzz. That was a buzz and a half that we got to go. And we said we were going to do a couple of things, and we did. We pulled through with, like you can see at the back there, the signed All Blacks jersey from the squad that played on Saturday night. Wow, that's a bit of a treasure.
This is it. So one of you subscribers out there can win this jumper. Remember, the way you win the jumper is you subscribe to our channel. So right now, you're watching this on YouTube, push the subscribe button and make sure you push the little bell button next to it so you get a little bit of a warning whenever we're uploading any of our content. Go ahead and subscribe right now.
Definitely. Hey, we hope you also liked a couple of our friends at the start of the show there. Giving a plug to the Stephen Scott Rugby Show. And we're thankful for the All Black boys for doing that for us.
It's great to have the ABs on our side too. Remember the Steve and Scott Rugby Show? You can find us here on YouTube. Let's get into the game, Scotty.
Definitely. So Saturday night, like you said, we headed out to the game in Sydney. First of all, we went to the Wallaroos take on the world champion Black Ferns. And what a game that was. The skill level from those girls, yeah, awesome. Great. What do you think of that one on Steve?
Oh yeah, definitely massive athletes, those girls on both sides, the Wallaroos and the Black Ferns. I think the Black Ferns just had a bit too much class for the Wallaroos though.
They did.
It showed out in the end, and they ran away comfortable winners. And it was actually really good to see the world champs in action.
Yeah, definitely. That was a bit of a buzz. That was the first time in history that the Wallaroos and the All Blacks have played together on the same field, same pitch. It's going to happen again this week in Auckland at Eden Park. We're grateful. We're grateful that we were able to go there and watch that game. The skill level of those women, like I said, yeah, amazing, magnificent. It's good to see them out of the field. And we thank Fee for giving a bit of a shout out for us on our show tonight.
Absolutely, it's great to have the ABs on our side. Well, let's get to the main game, Scotty.
Yeah.
What? Let's talk about the first half first of all. And what were your thoughts?
Yeah, definitely. That first half of rugby, I was really impressed with what the Wallabies had to bring on Saturday night. Leading up to the game, the hype from the media was that the Wallabies are going to come and play in this game. They're going to be ready, they're going to be fit, they're going to have some strategies to try and combat the mighty All Blacks. They did. For 40 minutes, the Wallabies put a lot of pressure on us defensively. They got in our face. That Beauden Barrett made a few handling errors, and that was mainly caused by the pressure that the Wallabies were putting on our squad at that time. Offensively, the All Blacks couldn't get going because of that pressure. For the Wallabies, offensively for them, yeah, same thing. They didn't really show a lot. They showed a lot in defense. Offensively, no, not a lot in that first 40 minutes. But hats off to the Wallabies for really sticking it to us in the first half of that game.
Yeah, certainly. I felt in that first half, not so much that the All Blacks, they're probably a little bit off the pace, but the problem that the Wallabies were having is that they couldn't put points on the board.
Definitely.
While they were dominating that first half, offensively, defensively anyway, but offensively is where they couldn't, you've got to put points on the board. And they come away with 6 points. in that first half for all of that defence that they showed. I think that was their big problem, and there were telling signs at the back end of that second half where the All Blacks started winning line-out ball and started to win scrum, and I thought, ooh, if this keeps going, it might be a bit of a long night for the Wallabies in the second half, and that's what happened.
Yeah, definitely. That was another thing with the Wallabies in the first half of that game. Like we saw, their line-out throws were shocking. Brodie Retallick and Sam Whitelock were stealing the ball more than they should have. So that's one thing the Wallabies are going to have to work on, is that the line-out throws. So hopefully BPA, Brandon Painga-Amosa, gets a run this coming Saturday in Auckland. Otherwise, Israel Folau played a great game in that first half. As soon as he left the field, though, it was not good for the Wallabies as far as their back line went.
Yeah, I thought the second half started off typical All Blacks. All Blacks, well, Crusaders are like the All Blacks. They normally score in the last 10 minutes of the first half, and they score again in the first 10 minutes of the second half. And that's exactly what happened. They started putting points on them, either side of the half. And then, unfortunately for the Wallabies, the floodgates started to open.
Yeah, they did. The floodgates did open. I think the All Blacks went into that half-time huddle. Steve Hansen and his merry men would have told the All Blacks to give yourselves a bit of time and a bit of space. As we saw in that first half, the Wallabies were getting up. The second half, they came out. They got back a bit more from the line. They had time. They had space. And at the end of the day, that helped the All Blacks immensely. So to see the Wallabies kind of deteriorate like that was pretty sad. I went into that game hoping the Wallabies were going to give the All Blacks a good run for their money. Yeah, not really. They didn't show a lot. The second half for the All Blacks, like we talked about the other day in the show, as soon as that All Black bench comes onto the field, watch out. They're not going to... actually, the other night, they usually come on the field and they stay at one level. This time, they lifted. And we saw that as soon as Damian McKenzie gets on the field. Anton Leonard-Brown, a couple of injury concerns there. Ryan Crotty again had another bad head knock. Not good for his health. So it's going to be a mixed up team. And also Rieko Ioane, who pulled his hammy, which I don't think he'll be back in the game this Saturday. Bench played a huge role when they came on.
They did. Look, I'm going to give you my favourite player on the All Blacks and the favourite player on the Wallabies. Let's start off with the Wallabies. My favourite player for the Wallabies was Israel Folau.
Yeah.
What
definitely
a massive player that guy is. He'd probably be the only Wallaby I would put in the starting 15 for the All Blacks, but he's unreal.
He is.
Israel.
Yeah.
Just does things that no other player can do, really. He's magnificent, is he? I hope he gets better. But definitely for me, the All Black that I thought was my man of the match was Jack Goodhue.
Yeah, definitely. Jack Goodhue has been named in the squad at the end of the year. Last year, he was named in the squad. He played in that French series, and he got to start against the Wallabies. And wow, he had a blinder. Safe hands when it was time to open it up, open play up. He was ready. He was ready to go. He's got good vision. He's got good field vision. Does Jack Goodhue, and he knows when to attack. And having Rieko Ioane outside him, he's got all the confidence in the world to either run it straight or draw and pass to Rieko. So Rieko does his thing down the sideline there. Yeah, definitely. For me, Jack Goodhue and Brodie Retallick were my players of the match.
Absolutely. And also, just want to recognise Whitelock. For his 100th game.
Yep.
And we got the opportunity to be right by his family, Scotty, as they celebrated. It was great to see, and we saw him get his 100th cap. It was a really good night if you were an All Black supporter.
Yeah, definitely. To basically round up the night, it was a great night to be watching that rugby, to see the skill level that the All Blacks had. They They really lifted the intensity. We hope going into next week in Auckland that same intensity level stays there with the All Blacks and the Wallabies. Hopefully the Wallabies come to play. We want to see good rugby coming out of the Wallabies.
So tell us what you think the Wallabies need to do in the comments down below. Tell us what you think the Wallabies need to do to make this a game on Saturday night. We want to hear from you. Yeah. What do you think the Wallabies need to do, Scotty?
I think what the Wallabies need to do, they have a couple of X-Factor players, but unfortunately for them, their main X-Factor player, Israel Folau, where he got injured. So I don't think we're going to see him come out and do his thing on Saturday night. Michael Hooper and David Pocock. Pocock had a really good game. For me, Michael Hooper's a little bit too small. He doesn't have that X factor. He doesn't have that huge presence on the field that can turn a game for the Wallabies. So I don't know where they're going to win the game. I can't see them win. They haven't won there in 36 years, and I don't think they're going to do it this Saturday night. Unfortunately for the Wallabies. All Blacks, we've got, like we said, a couple of injury concerns. Let's see who they pick up. Hopefully Nani Lamapi gets a run in place of Ryan Crotty, and on the wing, maybe Geordie Barrett. Ben Smith may go to the wing, and Geordie Barrett will go to number 15. Yeah.
Just a quick shout out for Waisaki Naholo. I think he played his best test in a black jersey for a long, long time, if ever. Yes. I think he played a great game, Waisaki.
Definitely.
Lucky he never got a bit of a yellow card there on Izzy, but it was his night.
It was his night. Also, Beauden Barrett. Ooh, it's a bit tense when old Bodie's kicking those penalties or those conversions, and he looked a bit sketchy like he does sometimes, but he came through with the goods, and maybe that's what Hansen is saying. He goes, he may not be able to kick the penalties or the conversions, but he's going to score tries for us. And like we saw, his runaway try, well, he's awesome.
Hey, we just wanted a quick shout out before we close tonight to our sponsors.
Yeah.
If you want some good Kiwi gear, where do you go to on Facebook, Scotty?
Yeah, New Zealand Kiwi Sports Rugby merchandise on Facebook.
That's them down there.
On FB, definitely. And also Allies sunglasses. Allies Sunglasses has a great range of nice, stylish glasses. You can find them at Allies, LEYES.co.nz for a great range of sunglasses.
Website just down the bottom there. Definitely. And last but definitely not least,
yes,
is our sponsors, localforyou.com.au. If you've got a favourite cafe, restaurant or takeaway that you can't order online from, you go to them and tell them to go to localforyou.com.au.
Yeah, let's just show them this jersey again. Sign like the boys at the start with the intro. It's all video evidence. So it's no fake here. This is the real McCoy. It's got all the All Blacks on there. I'd like to have it myself, but it's up for you subscribers. Get out there, tell your friends, subscribe.
Just a reminder, so you subscribe to your friends. Somebody's going to win this thing this year. It's going to go, and they're going to win it by doing the following: subscribing. If we get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of year tour, we'll draw it. It'll go. If we haven't got 1,000 subscribers by the end of year tour, at the very last game of the All Black tour, we're going to make the draw, 1,000 or not. But we want 1,000. So get out there, tell your friends, and subscribe and win the 2018 All Black Rugby jumper.
Hey guys, Steve and Scott Rugby Show. Check good you here, mate. Looking forward to the next episode.